2, 3, 4. If you're the person that fast forwards past the commercials, I would beg that you don't do that right now.
This is a new sponsor.
Yeah, man. Go check out Long Strange Putt.
What?
I
longstrangeputt.co.
This has been a long time coming for No Simple Road, and we are super excited to have Long Strange Putt supporting the show and clothing and outfitting our listeners with the dopest shit you have ever seen. Hats, apparel, golf gear, accessories, mystery boxes, stickers. It's a whole universe of weirdness over at longstrangeputt.co. Mel, what's your favorite item that you've seen?
Well, my favorite item is that fanny pack. I really like that yellow frog fanny pack, and the stickers are adorable.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with the Wook Tendencies hat or the Sphere and Loathing shirt for the
that
fish
was pretty
shows.
dope.
That one is still out and will be ending this week. So if you want a Sphere and Loathing in Las Vegas t-shirt, go get it now.
I still like my fluff head bucket hat.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
got those
That's
on
true,
there.
Apple.
Yep. So go to longstrangeputt.co and check out all the apparel, the golf gear, the hats, the fanny packs. Like I said, they got mystery boxes and stickers and all kinds of amazing shit over there. And we would love to welcome them to the family.
And also make sure to go over to Instagram at longstrangeputt to go see all kinds of fun and funny things happening all the time on Instagram.
Apple just said that Long Strange Putt is fun and funny.
It is fun and funny.
Go there, I agree.
Apple approved, everybody. Go check it out, longstrangeputt.co. In the land of Grateful Dead clothing, one name stands apart from all the rest, and that name is
Shop Tour Bus.
Wow, we didn't even plan that.
We didn't plan it.
It just happened.
You know what's awesome is that the Grateful Dead is doing their Sphere residency coming up.
Nope.
What?
Dead and Company.
Dead and Company, guys. Well, they're not. They're not going to come back from the dead.
You know
they're
what
not
I
coming back.
meant?
You know what I meant, Craig? Okay, sorry. Dead and Company is about to be taking the stage at the Sphere in this month.
Mm-hmm.
And next month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Then,
2 months.
So you have plenty of time to order your Shop Tour Bus gear
For the Sphere.
Yeah, gear for the Sphere.
That's right. So go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Go check out all the dope stuff they've been doing. They got a new Going Down the Road Feeling Bad shirt.
They did some dyes on their old school tape.
With the collab with Jess from Strange Birdie Studios that put her stamp of the shrooms on them.
Yep. And you're getting free shipping when you put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word when you check out. Free shipping from the family over at Shop Tour Bus. Roll into the Sphere with new gear, looking fresh with clothing or a hat or stickers and stuff from Shop Tour Bus. No Simple Road is stoked to have Sunset Lake CBD back with us as our sponsor. Sunset Lake is the real deal. If you've looked around trying to find CBD and it just didn't do what it was supposed to do, this is the place you need to go. They've got every kind of product you can imagine, including CBD tinctures with sleep gummies that are great for getting to bed, CBD gummy bears and reishi-infused chews that can help bring you a little bit of calm in a stressful day. They've got salve. They've got smokable hemp flower that's great for folks like me that don't want to get stoned and paranoid but want to have the benefits of cannabis. Well, now you got it. And they even carry CBD products for your pets, man. I'm saying this is Darwin approved stuff. Go over to sunsetlakecbd.com and check out the full range of what they have. This is Vermont grown, right to your door, and they're giving you 20% off. So put in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out. You're going to get 20% off your whole order. And I know you're going to love it. They even have subscription options open for you, so you don't forget to get your medicine. Go check out Sunset Lake CBD, everybody.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
I know the road may seem to go on forever and a lifetime.
Back in the studio we are back. Yes.
I know that we were just here this past weekend, but it feels like it's been a long time.
It feels like it's been a while since we did like No Simple Road.
Yeah, we've
Friday.
had lots of
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Hey
has
now,
been.
No Simple Road family. This is,
Mel.
This is Apple.
and I'm Aaron, and we welcome you to our abode.
Bienvenidos.
To our wonderful studio where we're still at this very moment. I am still finding sprouts that Sean and Meg left behind. Look at the shakedown.
I knew
sign
that's
over
I
the
did.
door.
That was the
One.
first one I saw.
Did you? Okay.
Yep. Meg had you guys all know those like sprout things that people have on their hats. You
People
see.
really love them.
I get comments on it every time I wear it on my hat. Anyway, she had a bag of those sprouts. They stayed here at the house. And when Sean left, he said, just so you guys know, there's 5 sprouts hidden in the studio. And we found 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So-
where I'm confused too, because I told him I found one. He'd seen this. He goes, "Well, there's 5 more." I
Oh,
think.
shit.
So there may
Okay.
be 6, or there was only 5. I don't know. Where's the pig? Damn it!
Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? Are we a week sphered?
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 Well, Sphere was on the 17th, and we're in May, so it's been a couple weeks.
Okay. Wow. Time flies when you're
Yeah.
really out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a whole weekend with company
Oh, that's
and
right.
everything.
That's right.
And yeah.
2 weeks out. Anyway.
Well, if for us it feels a little bit closer because we brought back Meg and Sean from Vegas to home, and so we kind of lived in the afterglow of the Sphere, and it felt, even though we had to work and be home and do our normal stuff, it felt like vacation
We were still there,
Yeah, it did.
We were well sphered.
Yep. Well, you know what? There is no better guest to have as we return to a semblance of normalcy than our returning friends from International Orange this week.
I feel like they're the perfect music for after the Sphere.
Totally. Yeah.
It's so groovy.
If you're not hip to International Orange, go check them out. When you Google it, if you just Google International Orange, you are going to get The Color, most likely, which is where the name of the band came from. So when you Google it, Google International Orange Band, and you will be blessed with some groovy
Yes.
music to tap your feet to and make your brain say yay.
And that is also their website, internationalorangeband.com.
Okay. How do you say orange, Mel?
Naranja.
No. How do you say it?
Orange.
Orange?
I've adapted to saying orange since I've lived on the West Coast for most of my life, but in my heart, I know that the proper way to say a fruit that is a citrus of a specific color is orange.
Okay. Apple, how do you say it?
Orange.
No. Come on, man.
Orange.
Orange?
Orange.
Have an orange.
Orange.
Okay. Orange. Anyway,
Okay. How do you say
orange.
orange?
orange.
How you
Like
say
it's spelled.
How you say AA, Ron?
So we met these gentlemen back during COVID, actually.
Yeah.
They reached out
Virtually.
to the show and virtually. And I put on the music and was like, oh, hell yeah, we're going to have them on the show. And they have some new music that's out now. Yeah.
It was out it was coming out
Well,
when we
Yeah,
We're talking- Bon Bagay. No, Bon Bagay.
was out, and then Valid Paranoia, the
Oh,
single,
yeah.
came out on the beginning of March.
Okay, cool. And we are going to take you into the world of International Orange, and we're going to listen to some music with the band during this conversation.
which was fun because
Yeah.
we don't do that.
No, it was fun. Having the 4 of them on the screen, watching their interactions, and it was really fun, like a listening party with them.
Yeah.
And this is a heady group of guys too. These are
Yes.
like musical scholar guys
Yeah.
that have studied the language of music for their lives, and super interesting.
Yeah,
guys
they're
to
like
talk to.
educators.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you to Adam, Todd, Leo, and David for hanging out with us again and giving us a great time. And we know it's been a while since we've done the interview, but there's still some great stuff in here for everybody to listen to.
Yeah, all full disclosure, we recorded this at the end of February.
Yeah.
And we just had a lot of releases
Yeah,
stacked
that's
up.
it.
Man. And
There's
that's
nothing
the
else
bottom
about
line.
it.
So
I also was going to just add, if you go over to their website, if you were lucky enough to be up in the New York area They have like 4 dates coming up.
Oh shit!
Right on.
Keep an eye on it because it says exact dates to be announced, but there are some dates up there starting June 1st. So I'd keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
You'll hear in here. This isn't something like they're going on a national tour or anything. And if you get a chance to catch them live, I'm fucking jealous.
Yeah. So for everybody that like, when you get something new, you have to find a category in your mind to place this thing in. The closest thing that I could equate I.O. to is like old, funky Medeski, Martin and Wood, or of that ilk.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. So if you need a category, folks, there it is. So we'll get you to this conversation with them. We're going to do the business real quick and then be on our merry way. So follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on Instagram and Facebook. And then also on X, formerly known as Twitter. We are at No Simple Road as well.
That sounds scary.
I know. Go to our website and there's websites there. It's a thing that has our stuff and our calendar of events
Merchandise.
and merch and all the stuff that's there. You can get a tarot reading from Mel and I. There's information on psychedelic medicine there. All kinds of stuff. Go check it out.
Past
it's a pretty
photos
cool website.
of different festivals we've been to.
Spent a lot of time on the thing.
Yeah.
Man. Don't make me feel bad. I didn't do it for nothing. Go check it out.
We've had several people
Don't make
say
them feel
that
bad.
we have a good website. I've heard that plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
And then go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That is how you pay the bill of No Simple Road in your heart, but
In your
physically with your money. See, here's the deal. No Simple Road costs $1 a month, but we work on the honor system over here. Nobody's checking except for us. So we're the only ones that know.
In the bank account.
That's right. So we have 2 new Patreon members this month. We have Nicole A. She signed up for $1.
Nicole A. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Nicole.
We appreciate you.
And hey, we have a new $20 patron
what?
who is getting a collage
That's
from
right.
Mel, Roxy D.
Roxy D.
Roxy.
It was wonderful talking to you on the way into the sphere to get spherical with you.
Well, there's a few times in Mexico
Yeah. But we just most recently
Yeah.
saw Roxy in Vegas at the sphere.
and took a little snapshot on
Yep.
the way.
And hey, Rox, thank you so much for being fucking awesome. And
So, supporting
doing
us in a lot of ways, letting us know like it never gets past us how sweet it is when people tell us like, man, you guys got me through the pandemic, or such and such episode was really impactful and I loved it, or my parents listened to this and they thought they loved it. So like, thank you for sharing your own, testimonials about what you think No Simple Road has done for you. I appreciate
and
it.
for making sure we get to keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line with Patreon is like, you're making sure we get to keep doing this thing. And we're putting up content up there for you. Connor is hard at work doing Connor's picks. Andrew's doing Andrew's picks. And the rest of the stuff that's going on over on Patreon. You get all the episodes a day early and ad-free and all the things. So go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That's that. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
No new reviews this week.
Okay.
No.
Call
It's all right.
971-808-1524. That is the No Simple Road tepid line. And I think if I'm not mistaken, we have
What's going on, Aaron, Apple, and Mel?
What's up?
Ben again, calling back. First of all, y'all knocked it out of the park with that interview with Barber.
Aw.
Oh my God! I mean, like I have consumed anything that man has said online that I can get my hands on, and just wonderful to hear him like in the moment describing what's going on with the band right now. And that brings me to my reason for calling. The Disco Biscuits are fucking playing their asses off night after night after night. Well, the tour closer was yesterday, so not anymore. But they were, in fact, playing
I believe
their
you.
asses off night after night after night. And I would advise any American with $60 of disposable income to fucking get on the road and go see the Biscuits. Oh my God, I saw them 2 times on the Why We Dance tour, which is not nearly as much as I would have wished to, and golly, each time was like a full, encapsulating, curated, perfectly just transportational experience. And
Wow.
I think the Biscuits get a lot of flack for being kind of a silly band or a little bit of like a they get joked on a lot, but man, they are tapping into some serious stuff, and you gotta take them on their own terms and accept what's coming at you, and you just unequivocally every time will have the best night of your life.
I agreed.
The
Right
tour
on.
closer last night, and I was having just kind of a bad day all around. I was feeling bad about myself, feeling bad about other people, and 3 minutes into the first set, that was all gone, and I was lifted into the bubble of positivity. And it's just it's incredible. The Disco Biscuits are killing it right now, and I don't think they're going to stop for the foreseeable future. And thank you guys so much for interviewing Barber and Brownie on next. He is a hoot.
We had him on.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. Disco Biscuits are fucking dope. You guys are fucking dope. Much love. See y'all later.
Aw.
Ben,
Thank you,
go back
Ben.
into the vault, the NSR vault, and find that
brownie episode.
brownie episode. It is really good. I believe it was during the pandemic also, or during that time.
Okay. We got one more. We got two more, actually.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. This is Adam from St. Louis, but
What's
now
up, Adam?
from Northern California. Long-time listener, first time calling in.
Right on.
I got sort of a hot take. I'm not sure if you guys will want to give your thoughts on it or not. But with the cancellation of Skull and Roses Festival and potentially maybe not seeing the return of Skull and Roses name, what positive things do you think are in store for the future as far as, West Coast, California, Grateful Dead centered festivals go? Do you think there will be another name with the same sort of idea in mind, like all Grateful Dead, Eddie Family? Or, I don't know. Or unfortunately, do you think it's ran its course and we'll see these promoters and these organizers maybe jumping on other events that are similar but not quite the same? Well, tell me what you think. See ya.
Adam. Okay.
Let's pause. Yeah, before you play the next one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on. We'll get to the Grand Poobah here in a second. I think that it's run its course personally. I think that having a single festival devoted to Grateful Dead tribute acts is tough on the best day. It was really amazing when it was happening, but I think it may have run its course, like you said. I think that there might be smaller local stuff that happens.
I think there will be a lot smaller stuff because I really like what a lot of the bands that were on the lineup did when it got canceled. They're already planned. Well, a lot of them are from California. A lot of them that weren't were already traveling there. So they all did their own things the whole week, like around that and stuff. They're popping up everywhere, teaming up some of them. I think we'll see smaller ones, but
what do you think, Mel?
Skull and Roses, I think there's a lot of festivals in trouble. And
Yeah, well, first of all, it takes there was a lot of talented artists on that bill. And if you're trying to pay the artists what they're worth, that's a lot of money. So you really need to draw an exponential amount of people for it to be lucrative. And I just think that maybe it can absolutely be done in a maybe 2-day festival, a day and a half type thing, maybe something shorter, where it's not so extensive, and be still able
over the weekend. Yeah,
over a weekend, and let it, still be lucrative and maybe not have as many bands, but still high quality to make the draw. But as far as Skull and Roses, I think, we don't know exactly what happened, but it's kind of hard to put your name, come back when your name is a little bit, tarnished, so
it's tough to come back.
It's tough to come back from that. But I think that the Dead has holding power. Look, it's 50 plus years.
Oh yeah, the Grateful Dead music is going nowhere, man.
So I definitely think that some, whether it's those promoters or different promoters, you're always going to see people wanting to do something Dead affiliated.
Yep, I'll agree. Mel, well done. The Southern California Grateful Dead scene, the Northern California Grateful Dead scene, Oregon, Washington, all of it. There's
just that little pocket.
So much out here, so many good bands just out here. I think that there'll be something will pop up. I don't know what, but just keep your ear to the ground. You'll see something will pop up. All right, we got one more. And I just shut it because I don't know what I'm doing. And let's try that again.
Good morning, No Simple Road family. It's the Grand Poobah calling on the first day of Jazz Fest 2024.
Happy
Nathaniel.
Jazz
Taking a long
Fest.
drive into New Orleans this morning. We wanted to call everyone and wish them a happy opening weekend at Jazz Fest. We got a little widespread panic on the plate today, and Johnny V, Eric Krasno, and George Porter doing a tribute at the Maple Leaf tonight afterwards. It's going to be a glorious 2-week run. I've got 17 shows scheduled in the next 2 weeks in New Orleans, and I wanted to let everybody know how good of a time it is and make sure that one day everybody attends the greatest festival on earth, Jazz Fest. Stay tuned for more updates from the Grand Poobah this weekend. Remember, safety first, hydrate third.
Well, you want to know
Nathaniel, I
what's cute
love you,
about
man.
that is that getting a picture randomly of Nathaniel and Rain from Jazz Fest.
If you were paying attention to Instagram today and you saw Andy Frasco's horror performance from Jazz Fest, you will see Nathaniel in the green shirt and blue hat holding the chair as the horror goes around the dance
Wow.
floor.
Now that's a good chair holder. I would trust him to hold me.
The guy in the chair looks like he's going to vomit. He's like, it really does look like he's going to shit his pants and throw up, and he wants to be let
Okay,
down.
I have to read just a couple of the unbelievable artists that are going to be at Jazz. Like, I would never think that this is going to be a Jazz Fest. The Beach Boys, Anderson .Paak and the Free Nationals, Queen Latifah, Bonnie Raitt, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Everybody else, totally. Steel Pulse, Foo Fighter,
Right.
But those are just outrageous that those are all together. I love that. This is incredible.
That's the beauty
Incredible
of the
lineup.
greatest festival that ever was, Jazz
2
Fest.
weeks of music in New Orleans. Like,
Wow.
We got to get International Orange out to Jazz Fest.
Yeah,
That's
they
who needs to be
you know
playing
what?
at Jazz
They
Fest.
literally belong there.
Okay. You hung in with us. That's 971-808-1524. That is how you do the No Simple Road Tepid line, guys.
very good examples.
Yes.
there.
Well done, everyone. Last but not least, tell somebody you love about No Simple Road, man. That's how we spread the mycelial network, the web that we are weaving.
And I was speaking of telling people you love to listen. Huge shout out to Sean's dad, Paul.
Hell yeah,
Aw.
Paul.
And the rest of Sean's family and Meg's family for listening and digging what we do.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Made some amazing human beings that I am really happy to call part of the No Simple Road family.
Absolutely.
Everybody, get ready for a really interesting and fun conversation with the guys from I.O. Make sure to follow them on social media and go check them out if they are playing in your area. Do not sleep on this one.
And I would say when we turn on their music, put your headphones on. Or
Yeah.
turn it up in your car, wherever you're listening.
Yeah,
but like
Turn
kind
it
of
up in the car.
Yeah, kind of
This
like
is
drown
good
yourself
driving
in that
music.
because it is so good.
All right, here we go. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
International Orange.
Well, at least last time we talked to you guys, it was the middle of the pandemic, and now things are better.
Oh my
I
gosh,
mean,
I can't believe it was that
for
long
everyone
ago.
out there.
Hey, am I better now?
You're
You're
better.
better now.
Yay,
Yay.
David.
I mean, in the middle of all of that, I can't. I thought for sure that we were done. Like that, No Simple Road was kaput when that first started out, and it just so happened that, in hindsight, it turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to this show.
Wow.
And I want to say thank you guys for like getting us through that because you amongst other guests too were that was like we clung to that. We were so looking forward to just any kind of connection, you know, and to have you all on the show was like I just remember it was like a dream come true.
Yes.
Like we have people
wanna talk
that
to us.
look different, that have something else to say.
Gentlemen, we're all here.
Yeah.
Let's go around
Yeah, like
and reintroduce yourselves to the folks that are listening. I don't know how you look on each other's screens, but I guess you could just go and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
All right. I look like I'm top left from you guys, of the four of us. So my name's Todd Eisler. Myself and David Phelps, who you'll meet in a second. Again, you'll re-meet.
Mhm.
We started this band over 10 years ago, well over that, I think.
Wow.
And we've been through, like many bands, we've been through a lot of hardship and even some loss. But everyone wanted to keep it going. And so we kept it going. And
Heck yeah.
we got a lot of pretty big repertoire now, and we're having a good time. We got some new stuff. I know you guys, Adam sent that to you, and we got these 3 new singles, one at a time. We're putting them out one at a time. And, oh, by the way, I'm the co-leader, drummer, percussionist guy, and I'll pass it over to, I guess, Adam's on my right.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm Adam Morrison, keyboard player. Not an original member, but it's been a while. Leo and I jumped in. I mean, actually, to be honest, my sense of time has gotten really non-linear. I don't even remember how long. But I mean, there's COVID's almost 4 years old.
Okay.
And it has to be a couple of years before that. So I actually really don't know how long. It's been a while, and it's definitely, a big thing in my life, but not an original member, but really happy to be part of it. I could say more as we go on. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I'll go next, I guess. I'm David Phelps.
Hey, David.
Guitar player and co-starter, somewhat leader, writer, songwriter, tune writer, and I don't know.
Member.
Bon vivant.
Bon vivant.
And on and on.
Yes. Man about town.
Something.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah. Thanks for having us here.
Of course, man. And last but not least.
As you can see, I'm Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Greatest.
I'm Leo Traversa. Did I come in the band before Adam?
No, we came at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Maybe gig. We had there was a little tour in Rochester and Canada that you and I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was fun. It's been a minute now that I think back, man, and pre-pandemic, and
Yeah.
it's funny. I'm glad to hear that the pandemic was lucky for you guys.
For one person.
In one way, for sure.
Yeah, in one way. We interrupt your regularly scheduled No Simple Road program for an important announcement. Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Please announce.
I do.
Okay.
Announce.
Here's the deal. If you ever wanted to try mushroom chocolates, well, now's your chance. Or if you tried mushroom chocolates and you wanted to try more, now's your chance. Go follow at Melt Mushrooms, MELTMUSHROOMS on Instagram. And then check out all the amazing flavors that they have. And what you're going to do is shoot them a DM. Tell them that No Simple Road sent you. And for the month of, what month we in? May? You're going to get 20% off your first bar. They have 10 different flavors, including horchata, peanut butter, quinoa crunch,
and
mint.
coffee crunch.
Coffee crunch, mint, like Apple said. They have singles, minis, gummies, and capsules. So all the ways that you can do the thing with the thing that's in the thing, you can get it from our family over at Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolate. So go follow them, shoot them a DM, order them. They get delivered to your house, and off you go. It's that easy. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
No, because in a strange way, it was really lucky for me too. I feel like now I'm not the only one.
Really?
How so?
Yeah, because it finally, after procrastinating for 20 years, I finally learned how to record music.
Oh.
Sitting home all year.
Oh, wow.
Heck yeah,
So
you
that,
did something.
That's kind of been a big help to a professional musician. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah,
But, I was able. So now I'm finally able to record, music, and I can record tracks for different people and record my own stuff. So that was one positive thing that happened.
Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment.
I thought so.
For you, you just said time's not linear a minute ago, and it did get muddy there after. It still is to me.
I think it'll stay that way. I mean, another conversation for another time is if it ever was linear and all that. But I realize that's.
Oh yeah. But
the moment. But
you saying that COVID was 4 years ago. I mean, yes, intellectually, I understand that it was 4 years ago, but like, it doesn't seem like it. And it doesn't see, when I look at the year now and it's 2024, I am like almost dumbfounded or confused. It seems strange to me. You guys feel like that?
Wait, what?
Yeah. I'm serious. It really is. For real. He's checking his phone.
No, I'm looking. Yeah, what the?
Yeah, exactly. WTF.
I think that year just didn't count.
I felt like that too.
Oh my God.
So, you know,
Oh,
we
God.
met you guys. We did our first, you know, meeting with you guys in the middle of it. And
Mhm.
Todd and I were talking earlier and remembering that. And you know, even though definitely there was a lot of silver lining in it, maybe for each of us in different ways, but I also remember trying to do some live streams, and that was, at least for me, kind of a really lonely experience. And so it's, you know, we're struggling to get back to things, the big we, but you know, we're out playing again, and that's happening again, at least, however imperfectly.
Yeah. So I didn't know that International Orange has been around 10 years. You know that feeling when you're walking through the lot and you get a grilled cheese and it's the best grilled cheese you ever had in your life?
Yeah.
But then you make that same grilled cheese at home and it's not quite the same thing.
It's good.
But here's the reason why it tastes so good when you get it on the lot. It's because you're getting it from the Grateful Dead or the Fish family, and it's a beautiful thing and it's infused with love. Well, our sponsor, Northbound Coffee Roasters, is kind of the same thing, man. When you get coffee from Northbound Coffee Roasters, you're getting it from our Grateful Dead and Fish family, and it's going to be the best coffee you ever tasted in your entire life. I promise you that. I'm not joking. Northbound Coffee Roasters is a family-owned and operated coffee roastery in Mount Shasta, California, with a combined 22 years of coffee experience and over 600 Grateful Dead and Fish shows between the owners, Keith and Jen.
Wow.
And they pursue top-quality coffees to provide to their customers. Northbound Coffee Roasters specializes in specialty organic coffee with a wide variety of roast profiles, blends, and single-origin offerings to match the taste of anybody who enjoys a cup of coffee, and I'm betting that that's you. So what you're going to do is you're going to head over to northboundcoffee.com, and you're going to learn more, and you're going to place an order, and they ship anywhere in the U.S., and their coffees are always roasted to order to guarantee the freshest cup. Use the promo code NOSimpleRoad at checkout for free shipping on your first order of any size, anywhere in the U.S., and please, make sure to sign up for the newsletter so that you can get extra discounts and cool stuff and find out info that's going to blow your mind. Yeah. Blow about Northbound Coffee Roasters.
Actually, to be honest, it's probably been more like 12 or 13 years.
wow.
Really? Okay. So what we have here in front of us now is basically a old, new iteration of the band.
I like that old new.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like old new stock or something.
New old stock. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. If you all know what that is.
No, what is it?
I don't know what new
The
old.
new old stock it refers to different things, but you'll see it a lot with tubes. And what it means is new old, which means the thing was made a long time ago, but it hasn't been used yet.
Oh.
It's brand new in a box.
Okay.
And so
Tubes
it's kind of
from like the
the
50s and the 60s.
you know, like Chinese tanks and stuff. Not kidding. Like military grade stuff from, you know, the Soviet Union and China, and but it's good stuff. It's just, you know, because they made
No,
it.
but the ones, Adam, just the
Okay,
ones
here's
that you want are like the ones that were made in America and
Okay,
English.
sorry. Oh, say yeah,
Like Mullards, Telefunkins.
Nothing
which are
political.
German.
Yeah, no
That's like-
Yeah, we're not
that's-
trying to go there.
No, yeah, hey.
Hey, you guys.
It's a music
I just want to
podcast,
say
man.
one thing. If David is he's you can tell he's into tubes, and if he hears a guitar player that's playing through a solid state amp,
Mm-hmm.
he'll just go up and unplug it and punch the guy in the face.
Oh shit. Okay, it's that serious?
Well,
Not quite, but he
not
wants
quite
to do
that
that.
violent.
He wants to do that, but he's
I would
too
be
nice.
like, what? How can you do that?
Okay,
He must have tubes.
Let me ask you a serious question, and please, this is I'm showing that I don't know by asking you this, but is the tube sound just warmer? What's the difference?
Yes.
Oh, thank God I got it right. Yeah. And you can
how's that for a simple answer?
And you can tell just by like hearing somebody play what they're playing through.
Yes. Well,
It's kinda like
I mean,
different-
you could probably tell too. I mean, and when you think about like all like the great like rock guitar players that you've ever heard,
Right.
or even like guys like Wes Montgomery, those guys are all playing through tube amps, and like that great sound they get, and also even like, recording studios had tubes in them too. So like, when you listen to the Beatles, like all that audio gear that they used to record in the day was all tube. I mean, there are people that like, would just be like, oh, I can't even record, it's got to be tape and an analog, board. I mean, I mean, I'm not that picky per se, but whatever. I mean, there are people that can tell the difference.
Wow.
For sure.
It's kind of like the difference between a vinyl record and a CD.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One has like depth and warmth and feeling to it, and the other one is kind of flat and cold.
And you know what else, though? The first one has, in the case of vinyl and in the case of tubes, imperfection.
Mm.
And the imperfection can be a beautiful, like a desirable thing.
Yeah, like a part of the sound.
Yeah. Clicks and pops, and like tubes on a certain level, not to like kind of distort the sound, but in a really desirable way.
And and there's companies that are continuing to make them, or are you buying new old stock?
Oh,
Both.
Both. Okay.
They make them.
Okay.
They make them in China. They make them in boy, we're
Eastern
going
Europe.
down a wormhole.
Eastern
Hey, no, hey man, we got time.
It's
Let's do it.
it's our hour. We get
They
to talk about
go-
whatever we want.
Like they make them in, I believe, Slovenia.
Uh-huh.
And
But they're kind of like boutique now, right? Right, Dave?
That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
well, no, those companies like in Yugoslavia, and Sovtek is made in Russia, which thank you, Vladimir Putin, for your fucking war. No, because the price of tubes went up.
Oh.
And when that war started, it was like you couldn't get tubes. And the Russians, part of it is that a lot of their technology is still based off of tubes for whatever reason, because they're kind of behind the times.
Right.
So
wow. Yeah,
Interesting.
you don't, when you're listening to music, when I'm listening to music,
When the average person.
I'm not thinking about any of that. Like,
But you're somebody that would notice that and maybe not know that you're noticing it. I believe that.
yeah, there you go.
okay,
That can happen.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Like you may not know what you like or think is different, but you know something is for
I
sure.
think that's true.
So going forward now, when you guys go into the studio like you've done with these 3 songs that we're actually we haven't done this before with a band.
I'm
we're
really
gonna listen
excited.
to some of it with you guys if that's cool. But I'm curious, when you go into the studio, who in the band is the most picky?
For the sound or
Yeah.
like what way?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna touch that with the 10-foot pole.
Adam, you're like, I'm out of
Everybody's
that.
like, nope, not happening. Okay.
Todd, you plead the fifth.
Somebody else got him.
That's fine. That's fine.
No, well, what for these 3 songs? What did that process look like for you guys going back into the studio?
Well, really, we had 3, as you'll hear, or maybe you've already heard them, 3 very different tunes. So we just wanted to get them documented.
Yeah.
So and then, I was reading about, in the modern day, how to release music, and everyone has an opinion, but, releasing singles seems to be the way.
Well, because
for many people.
Things expire so quickly these days.
Everybody's attention span is
So if you drop an album with all this work, right? Like 12 songs, they hear it, they digest it, and they're done. But if you drop, an EP or a single or something smaller and you continue to do it, it may take a little bit more effort on your part, but like it stays current and it stays in people's mind. And even if it's, 2 years old by the time you're releasing it, people are thinking that it's new and feeling like it's fresh. It's a weird thing with music these days because so many people are doing it the way that you guys are.
That's a good point, because I would like to believe that if whoever takes the time to do a whole album, and many people do, especially in the jazz world, which we've got at least 1 foot in, all of us.
I would say so.
They, if you have a really, really compelling album, then people who are into music, if they dig it, they're gonna go back and listen to that album. And you're not gonna just only hear it once, but
exactly.
A single, if they like it, on the other hand, they will also go back to it if it's catchy.
Yeah.
Or if it has another quality they like.
Or put it in a playlist. That's a big thing now too.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, yeah, it's the playlist thing. Like I wind up making playlists to promote our music to certain this is a different topic maybe, but when I'm trying to get us a gig somewhere, I try to feel out what that venue wants. Who the people, who's playing there, what do they do? Is it more jazzy? Is it more jam band? This is that wall we've been sitting on just because of who we are. We're like jazz, but we're also jam band, and we're also many, many other things like world music. And, we've talked about that before with you guys, but I try to cater this playlist to whoever we're going to approach.
That makes sense.
So I'll leave certain tunes out because they're just not appropriate for that particular venue or festival or something.
I think.
Yeah, we have.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's how we have a lot of inappropriate tunes. I was gonna interject something about the way we record. I think in general, like we try to think about our live performance when we record. Like I don't think we add a lot of extra overdubs or extra parts to it. I think most of the music we record, we can perform live. The way we record it. We kind of record old school. We just get in the room and play.
And everything you're going to hear tonight is in the first 2 takes, I think.
What?
Oh, wow.
Hell
Really?
The second take, yeah.
Wow.
There's a few bands that I can think of, like Medeski, Martin, and Wood is one that comes to mind that straddles that wall that you're talking about between jam band and the jazz world. And I feel like you guys fit in that space, in my opinion, anyway, for what it's worth. And so when you're going to get gigs booked, I would think it would be, you would have a wider field because of that, because you have, places like Nectar's and the places where jam bands play. And then you also have the small jazz clubs that you can go to. Is that close to the truth or no?
Yeah. In New York, there's so many different types of clubs where there are a handful, maybe more than that. And where a band like us we have played. And there's, we could even, we can go to jam band places too, it's hard to categorize where we go and what we do.
And a huge difference between the crowds too, I'm sure.
But I'm glad you mentioned Medeski, Martin, and Wood because, early on in my, my jam band world that I was a part of, and I mean, in the bigger, Leo used to be with Steve Kimmock for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think quite a while. How long were you with him?
Almost 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Right.
During the Zero days or no?
No. Early 2000s, like 2003, 4, 5, after Alphonso Johnson played with him.
Okay.
Alphonso Johnson played with him?
Yeah. Actually,
Wow.
right after Bobby Vega, there was some
Bobby.
weird thing. But Bobby left the band just before the High Sierra Festival, and they called me at the last minute to come in and sub.
Oh,
And,
wow.
And then Alfonso played with them, and then when Alfonso left, they called me back to join the band.
Bobby Vega.
We just had him on.
had him on. He was our release last week, and that was one of the funniest, weirdest interviews I think that we've ever had. That is a very peculiar, wonderful soul, that man.
Yeah, he's a great musician too.
Yeah.
I met him at the
Amazing.
NOM show a couple of years ago.
Man.
He just put out a CD that's amazing, and we touched a little bit on like releasing and stuff. Like it's just changed so much for the musician. I'm sure you all know this from this band and previous stuff that you've been with, like records, albums were the thing, then it goes to these CDs, then it's singles and playlists, and how do you all feel about the music industry and where it's gone? I guess for each of you.
I was just, before I was coming on, I was working on my schoolwork. I'm teaching tomorrow. I teach college students, and it's great. It kind of keeps me aware of how things have changed so much since I started out. Like where these kids are today and where I was in the 80s, when I was beginning my career. And like Todd is saying, like just trying to figure out how to market yourself and get gigs and what to do with your music. It's a completely different world than the world that we came up with. And I'm so glad that I'm in touch with kids from, the next generation. I learned from them as much as they learned from me,
Yeah.
It's so
I'm glad I
profoundly
have
different.
that connection,
Yeah.
All right, hang on 1 second. Hold on. We got Apple here. Hold on. Let me get him in here.
Dart, go lay down.
Sorry about that. Damn day jobs. We're running a little late.
We're talking about the music industry, Apple, and how it's changed, and it
Leo was just saying that, like, teaching college, like he's realizing just how many how it's changed. And like we were talking, I can't remember who it was recently, like you got to be like a videographer now, you got to shoot your own videos, you got to book your own stuff, you got to create content, and you better be kick-ass at whatever instrument you're playing with.
And a social media expert.
Yeah,
You got to do everything.
And it's kind of like that for almost all occupations these days that are, you want people to come see you, an artist, you better, do all of these, your craft and then some. And it just didn't feel like that years ago.
And to add to that, you can't really sell your product anymore because once it's on the internet, all bets are off.
Exactly.
Well, that's a big thing right there. People don't, two basic things and a whole lot more. One, people don't pay for music anymore. Mm-hmm. There's no concept of buying it, paying for it is long gone.
Yeah.
And then a little less long gone, but long gone also is the idea of anything in physical form.
Yeah.
I mean, even CDs or whatever, those are long gone. So we're talking about everything is
intangible,
digitized and virtual, and with all of the good and bad that comes with that, which is both.
And I don't think that we've realized yet that we recently have taken another leap forward in technology with the release of that the Vision Pro, the spatial computing thing. I think that is going to cause it's a different kind of wave than we've seen before in another way. The same way that the phone did it prior, I think that this is going to do the same thing in ways that we can't even predict right now. And I think that music is going to be a big part of that change. I really do see virtual concerts being a thing in the near future. And,
a Kiss is doing it.
Are they really?
Kiss is doing that whole thing. I don't know if you guys saw that when they just finished their like 30th reunion final tour. And now
No, we mean it this time, tour.
Yeah, now it's gonna be. They did a big promo the day after the last one. It's gonna be like avatars of them, and you can go see. They're gonna do it real concerts. They're like holograms of all of them, and then you can also like stream it, and you're probably gonna be able to do it on the Apple Pro. And yeah, it's gonna get really.
Well, at least you can monetize that. You know what I mean? That would be a way to bring back monetization for the artist.
So, as a working musician now, how do you make it?
Oh.
Like, especially with what you guys are doing, how do you?
The $1 million question.
Yeah. Or even not make it, but get by.
It's hard. You know what?
Haven't you heard the joke? How do you make $1 million playing jazz?
Start with two.
Start with two. Wow.
I mean, I think, for artists in general, I mean, it's like, look, it's always probably been that way that, I mean, you take a guitar player like Alan Holdsworth, for example, I mean, the guy was schlepping around, they carried their own gear. They drove around in a car.
Right.
I guess he had a booking agent, but he drove around. He's like one of the greatest guitar players that ever played the instrument. And, they were like, schlepping their stuff around and, setting their gear up and doing a sound check and playing the gig. And, up at the end of the night.
That's crazy.
And it's, what used to be, I just was watching this interview. What's that? Rick Beato, and this guy's name is Tim something. He's a guitar player in L.A. and he worked with Billy Squire. Is that
Yeah.
Rick Springfield.
Oh, okay.
He played with Rick Springfield back in the '80s. He got that gig and he toured with him for a couple of years, and he became like a singer-songwriter guitar player guy. And he said he would, for years, what he did was he would drive around in his car, he'd go to some singer-songwriter's house and play for them on their recording. And he said he would do like 3 of these a day, $100 a whack.
Wow.
And that's what he did for years. I mean, occasionally he'd get some other gigs that would pay, another recording that paid, very well, but mainly that's what he did. And now you can't even do that anymore. Like, it's like the middle class of musicians, guys used to, I mean, it was like, there was a time when if you wanted music recorded, you had to have musicians do it. And that was it. You paid some guys to come in and play, or you didn't record anything. And now you can do it with your laptop. You actually don't even need to be a musician to do it.
No, you can use GarageBand. I could make a song right now in GarageBand, not that it'll be any good, but
I mean, the concept of like trying to make a living. I drive a school bus. I don't know.
You got to get creative on the other end of how you're. I mean, it's what we're doing. We're funding our
addiction,
a hobby or addiction or our passion of doing this with day jobs. Like Apple had to run in late and I worked all day and so did Aaron. But it's important to us and we love what we do and we love doing this. So we just do it. Who cares what we're doing for 6 hours of the day when we actually finally get to do this, like with you guys with the show?
Mm-hmm.
That's your peak moment.
It's like we always say, this is our therapy. If we didn't have it, I don't know what we'd be a little bonkier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize, what the life of most professional musicians is really like, because I know I can speak for all of us in International Orange. We don't have enough time to list all the different things that we do. Not only playing, teaching, recording, community work, whatever. There's so many things that are involved in a career in music that most people are not aware of.
Yeah.
Most people just think, oh, you're in a band and you go on tour or you're on TV. I remember my grandmother used to think if you weren't on TV, like you weren't really legit. But yeah, there's so many things that you can do to have a career in music that don't involved being in a band and doing a gig.
Well, you
playing
didn't even mention like trying to have a family in the midst of all of that too, and yeah, trying to keep that together. And so at the end of the day, like Mel said, you've got it now. You've got to be in it because you love it.
Well, even before then too, right?
I think before people could do it and try and make it, not loving it, just trying to make $1 million.
I think for most of us, generalization, but most of us who play started really young.
Okay.
And at an age when you're not really thinking about it, you're just doing it. You're not being calculating and all those ideas that come into your head and pros and cons, and we're really, really young for most of us. I think it's generally true for professional musicians, whatever that might mean. It's like you start doing it before you have a choice, and it's kind of choiceless in a good way. But I mean, do you guys think that there's something to what I'm saying, or is that just me?
Ready for a head-bangingly good time? Dive into the world of heavy metal with the Brutally Delicious podcast. Here, we don't just talk music. We welcome you into our heavy metal family. Join us for candid chats with legends and rising stars. We go beyond the typical interviews, exploring raw emotions and the life-altering impact of heavy metal. So whether you're a diehard metalhead or just curious, join our family and let the headbanging begin with the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Come on, Todd. We haven't heard from you.
I agree with you. I mean, personally, I do it. I feel like it is a luxury, and I do it because I have to do it, and I love. It makes me feel so good. It's a selfish thing, really, because nothing really makes me feel that good as music. So I guess a lot of things make me feel good. That's not what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, we get it.
I need it. It's like a drug. I really do need it.
It's food.
And playing live, to answer the other question, that's really the only thing that's left with the digital age to make any money, but that's secondary because, we do it because we love doing it. And so that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So
it's simple. It seems like a simple thing. You love it. Otherwise, all of the turmoil, all of the ups and downs, the hills you got to climb, the schlepping here and there. If you didn't love it, you'd kick it to the curb.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
We're gonna pull up some of the.
We're gonna listen to. Do you have a preference on which one we do first?
Yeah, because the one that we put out is probably the good one. Is probably the one to listen to first.
I've been jamming that.
It's already out there.
Yeah, I've been jamming the Bon Bagay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Maybe
Bon Bagay.
Bagay. Okay, sorry.
Oh.
Bon Bagay.
It's Creole.
Okay.
What does it mean?
It means good thing.
Good thing. Okay.
All right, we're gonna listen to a little bit
I
of
work with
this.
some Haitian guys, and they say this.
Oh, cool.
Oh, all right. There's some stank on that right there.
You guys,
gentlemen.
Okay, first of all, that guitar. Whoa.
That slide.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ta-da.
Just the driving an unassuming school bus and just tearing up the slide.
I'm thinking second take, 1 or 2 takes, like that.
For real, that was like the first or second take.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Well, we go in, we're kind of prepared when we go into the studio.
Yeah.
Like it starts off, like say like that tune a guy wrote the tune, and then I bring it in and we play it, and and people go, oh, we need to do this, maybe we should do that, and we come up with arrangements. This one doesn't have a lot of arrangement, but I generally, like, there's the 2 different sections or so, I would just play the 2 sections round and round and round like that, like kind of like a jazz concept where you play the form of the tune,
right?
Where we ended up like doing a vamp with the organ solo. So we play a little bit of the changes, and then we go into just like grooving.
Yeah.
And like Leo likes to do that, and I guess Todd too. I don't know. So it's a thing. No, it's like we bring in a tune, and then or sometimes to bring in just an idea of one little riff, and then we'll piece together a bunch of everybody will throw in their 2 cents, and we'll end up at some point with a tune.
Wow.
That we wrote together.
And how do you name the tune? Like now that you said that what it means, it's perfect title, but how do you decide what a nameless and song is?
Yeah. Oh, without lyrics.
Yeah, without lyrics.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's like, I don't know. You come up with something. I may have actually called it something else, and the guys that I work with these Haitian guys, and they would be on the radio, and they would say hi to each other, and they'd be like going like "Bamba guy," and a bunch of them would just all over the radio be like insane. We're like, on all these shifts, and another guy that used to work there that moved to New Orleans. This guy was a nut on the radio and was always being funny on the radio, and he would like probably make 5 different voices. So it sounded like 20 people were like responding, but it was like half of them were this other guy. It was just one guy. But anyway, that's it. And I kept hearing that, and I thought, this thing's kind of got like this kind of vibe to it, and it's kind of a like what? It's not a Haitian feel, but it's like a Caribbean-ish.
Yeah, it's got a Caribbean groove to it a little bit.
So I said, what? How's that for a name?
I love it.
I love it. It's perfect, man. Yeah.
There we go.
Do you guys enjoy doing the recording process, or do you prefer the live thing?
I think we enjoy all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all, it's all part of what you do. It's like, it's fun to sit and put music together, and, it's also fun to just show up and just play and have shit sometimes happen, like you might play it differently. I don't know.
They're very,
Plus, the place
different.
the place where we usually record is a good friend of ours, good old friend. So it's just like recording in your living room. It's really,
that's cool. Super comfortable,
super relaxed environment.
That's a good hang time as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And just an aside, the guy this engineer that Leo's talking about, I've known him since 1988. I've been going to him. And,
wow.
Yeah, me too.
He's the movie The Godfather. He's a Godfather freak, and so am I. So we just really annoy people because all we do is talk in Godfather quotes. So, 3 hours,
Right.
2 hours of this shit, and everyone's probably sick of it, because all we do is quote every, like, even secondary, tertiary characters. Like, no one quotes this stuff. We just do it.
So
I love how at 3 minutes it's like really ripping and roaring.
It's getting you going.
Yeah.
Is it okay to do? Is it okay to do one of the unreleased ones?
Well,
sure.
When's the unreleased? Do you have a schedule for these, or are you just kind of determining when they're going to?
We haven't picked a date for the second one. We don't even know which one's going to be the second one. It probably doesn't matter. We're going to put them all out anyway. Probably within another month to 6 weeks, I'd say, we at the most.
Okay.
You know, we're trying to go by what the recommendations are.
Yeah.
For that.
Who recommends?
Well, that's a good question. I look around. This one guy who seems pretty credible. He's got all these screenshots and all this, advice about when to do things and
brother. We got him in the podcast world too.
Yeah, I mean, I already screwed this one up by not hyping it up longer. I went on DistroKid and didn't realize that. I never gave them a release date, but somehow they just took it and ran with it. I guess I didn't read some fine print somewhere, but never gave them a release date. The next thing I knew, it was out. I wanted to play it for the first time with you guys, but it didn't work out that way. So that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's wild that in the world that we're in right now with social media, there's an expert for everything.
Yeah.
Like there's a Tupperware expert. There's a used tinfoil expert. There's a fucking vegetable peel expert guy. There's the podcast, when you should release your podcast expert person there. And you too. And like me and Mel joke, don't throw away your vegetable peels, like that guy. And it's insane. And it's impossible to parse the flood of information that comes at you when you're doing your passion to figure out who's right and who's wrong. And for me, I've just had to like pick one. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to listen to this person seems like they're doing it right. So I'm going to pick the one, because 9 times out of 10, they're all contradicting each other.
Right. You got to go with your gut.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoever seems like the least full of shit.
Yes.
And the least trying to sell you something. That's the one that you want.
Yeah, no shit. All right, let's do. You guys, Mel, you want to pick?
Yeah, middle one.
Okay. Valid Paranoia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an
That used to
interesting
be
title.
called Sour.
Okay.
Okay. I'm scared now.
Speaking of coming up with titles.
Yeah.
Me and my wife were sitting around talking about, there's a lot of times when paranoia is valid. And I said, valid paranoia.
But I just want to ask this question. Is it paranoia if it's valid?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an excellent question.
No, I would say if it's valid, it's intuition and not paranoia.
Okay, maybe we have to retitle the tune again.
Yeah.
No.
I like it.
Just call it intuition now. All right, here we go.
There is valid paranoia.
We could do that. It's not released yet. We could change the title again.
All right, here we go.
Just lose valid. Go straight to
Uh-oh. Leo coming out the gate.
Yeah, that'll get your ass moving.
I'm adjusting my back as we speak.
give up the goods. I want people to have to go listen
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Dang.
I'm just wondering when the bass comes in. Like,
That was
wow, guys.
Yeah, where's the groove?
Wow.
In that one? Whoa.
I wish I would have had that one. I listened to the other one about probably 8 times in my car today, out driving around doing my gig. Great driving music.
It's easy to just repeat. I did the same thing on the way to work.
Yeah, you just get in the groove and just keep going with it. Except for in the car, especially on the way home, trying to get here quickly. It had lyrics in the car. It's like you can't turn here, fucker. Like things like that.
Oh, that's a great name for a song.
Yes, please.
You can't turn here, fucker.
Yeah,
I love that.
Okay,
shit.
so wait, who was the master child or the brainchild behind this one? How did this one come about?
This one's mine.
Okay,
Mostly. Yeah.
right on, Todd.
And we messed with some of the phrases we moved around, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
okay.
much.
I mean,
Yeah.
definitely find that space in there where Elvis has left the building and you're in the groove, just kind of going for it. And I love the build that's in that song.
yeah.
I love it. That's like it's a big theme in the jam world that I've seen, is the whole tension and release thing in music. And there's certain bands that are better at that than others. I won't name any names, but that reminds me of that. And it really does, like the two that we've listened to.
Yeah, they have totally different personalities.
I can tell it's the same band. I can tell it's you guys, but
That's a good thing.
it's completely, different worlds.
Yeah.
Is that intentional?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's definitely an expression of all of our influences and our experiences around the world and in New York City and everywhere else.
Yeah.
So is there a tour planned or anything? Is there anything in the works?
Unfortunately, no tours are planned at the moment.
Okay.
But what we'll do is we'll probably do we're trying to work out maybe a short thing. I love playing outdoors. I love being, in warm weather.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And probably what will happen is we'll get an anchor gig somewhere in the Northeast, realistically speaking. And we'll try to make a week out of it maybe, or, do some long weekends in this upcoming warm season. But
Man, I wish we could get you guys out here.
I wish we could
Pacific
too.
Northwest.
Where are you guys at?
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, we're on the other side.
Yeah, I've never been to Portland.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well, I have to say,
It's literally up and down the coast, like Portland, Eugene, Seattle,
Yes.
LA, San Francisco, San Diego. Everyone's the whole coast. I mean, I go there a lot.
I would love to see you guys play like the jazz festival they have every year here down on the waterfront, and a lot of jazz festivals all up and down the West Coast. I could see you guys would fit so perfect. Oh,
would be awesome.
I always thought we'd be a good festival group. Did we speak to you guys before, Todd? Was it before we did the Cleveland thing, Chicago and Pennsylvania?
It was before.
Probably before.
Yeah, it was during COVID.
It was pandemic.
I was just going through some hard drives. I found some of the recordings from that. That was a fun tour.
Yeah, we did. It was the summer before this last. We went to my hometown of Cleveland. We went to Chicago and couple places in Pennsylvania.
Wilkes-Barre.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys enjoy being on the road?
I do. I mean, sometimes, the road can be rough, but once you get where you're going,
then the rough part is
nice
over.
When you're in control of your own transportation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Since if you're in another country, it's a lot nicer taking the trains.
You guys are about to go hear Fish, and I was in Mike's band for 6 years, and that was some very nice traveling circumstance.
Accommodations.
I can
yeah.
only imagine that it was.
It wasn't first class, but it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean,
All I had to worry about was wake up and play music and not anything else.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
yeah, isn't that the dream right there?
Hey, you guys want to go completely off the rails for a minute?
Always.
Sure, I love going off the rails.
I got something in front of me that I found today that I think is really fun. It's from the 80s, from probably like 1985 maybe.
Okay.
And in the music stands in Brazil, I mean not the music stands, the newspaper stands. They would have these little books for 50 cents. And it's all the tunes, all the popular tunes of the day, like Milton Nascimento and Djavan with the chord changes and the lyrics.
Oh, wow.
And the first time I went to Brazil, they were 50 cents. I couldn't believe it. I bought a whole bunch of them.
That's crazy.
You can see they're very small. They're like half the size of a comic book.
Can you make copies of those and email it to me?
That's
I
awesome.
could, except it's also easy to find.
I know, but just one of them. Like
If you
that's
Googled
Bernardo or
any of the
something.
tunes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was going to show them to my Brazilian ensemble students, but
Is it?
they're really cool. I got about a dozen of them.
So it's actually got the chord changes in there,
Yeah,
and they would sell that at like a
Are
magazine
they
stand?
correct?
not only the chord
they-
changes, but the
what?
diagrams. too,
Yeah,
to show
that's-
you how
I
to
saw
play the
that.
chord.
Oh,
That's so
wow.
cool.
Yeah, they totally hook you up.
You know
Are they correct though?
They actually, of course, yes, they are.
The chords are correct.
wow.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
I mean,
That is-
that's a trip. That speaks to like a huge difference in culture.
Oh, absolutely. Because like everybody in Brazil is musical in some way or another. You're either a great dancer, you play percussion, everybody sings really well. When you're at a concert and people are singing along, it sounds great.
Oh, I bet.
And,
I never
and
thought
a
of that.
lot of people can play guitar. It's very musical culture for sure.
Indeed.
It's the importance is emphasized too. We know we have a couple of friends, Mariana, that are from Brazil, and music is such a huge part of everything. I mean, it goes with the food and family time and like
And sports.
and sports. Yeah,
and
yeah,
football, soccer.
It's crazy. All right.
I think that's one of the things that obviously we have a lot of world music influences in this band. Brazilian, Afro-Cuban, African, Indian. And one of the things I've learned, like being into different music from different cultures, is that, the different, like you said, like music takes on a different meaning in different places in the world. Like in places like Africa and India, it's not only entertainment, it's celebration, it's mourning, it's news, it's it just tells the story of your life. It's got so many other purposes, and a lot of cases, like music, you don't necessarily become a musician to make money. It's like even more of a calling. It's your they take it very serious.
Yeah,
it's a lineage often too in those places.
Yeah, right.
And
Todd can tell you about India. Both of us have worked with Indian musicians, and boy, what they do to learn their craft makes what we do look like nursery school.
wow.
How so?
Well, here's an example of the commitment. A long time ago, when I started studying mridangam, which is the South Indian counterpart to tabla, it's those one drum with heads on both sides.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
sit
yeah,
on, you've seen it. My teacher, Ramnath Raghavan, well, he said when he was young, his brother used to like hit him if he didn't practice like an insane amount of hours a day, and like tie him to a tree or crazy shit like that. I mean, it's deep what they go through to, and the caste system was such a big deal too,
Right.
and it's still very alive in India. It's just evolved. But back then, you had to be born into a family that were Brahmin musicians. You couldn't just be some, untouchable, very poor person and become a great musician. It was pretty unheard of. You had to stay in your lane. It was a different time.
Wow.
You have to be accepted by your teacher. Like you can't just go and pay somebody and take lessons. You have to prove yourself worthy to study with them.
And and along those lines, when I was there studying with yet another man, Karakuri Mani, who passed away about a year ago, maybe a year and a half, he would come in. I was staying there at the school on the roof of the school, like in a little hut. It was very humbling.
Yeah.
I thought I could really do a whole hour on that. How insane, how humbling it was. But people would come into the room and they would bow at his feet and even kiss his feet, and they would have to sit lower than the teacher. Like he'd be sitting in a chair and they would sit on the floor.
Right.
Now I didn't do that because I wasn't of that culture. He didn't expect that of me, but that was kind of the deal.
How did you, how can we just ask, how did you get accepted if it was so hard to, be a part of that?
He's dope as shit.
Well, yeah, but like clearly you earned it, but like how?
No, it's not. It wasn't really about any special talent I had. I knew a friend of mine, Jamie Haddad, who plays in Paul Simon's band. He's also from Cleveland. We were both studying with Ram Raghavan, the first guy I told you about. And he went there on a Fulbright scholarship. But anyone can go. I mean, really, if you want to study and you're a Westerner, you can just go there and pay the teacher directly, and go and study and stay as long as you want to.
Okay.
And it's pretty inexpensive to go to India if you're from this country.
It's also tied to spirituality. I mean, on another level too. That's why you need to be accepted by your teacher. It's a whole, it's all encompassing. It's not a piece of you. It's all of you that's doing the thing. Can you imagine if that's how it was here? There'd be like 4 guitar players. kids that are being like forced to go to lessons by their parents or piano lessons by their parents.
That wouldn't be happening.
Also there's no written music. Everything has to be memorized. So that's another, level of
There's
learning.
no written music. Wow.
No, we went and saw Bela Fleck and Zakir Hussain.
Oh, you saw that band?
Yeah.
They just won like 2 Grammys for
Man,
that band.
It was amazing.
It was.
Yeah, I heard the record.
One of the most amazing musical experiences I've ever had in my life, seeing that. But watching Zakir Hussain, it's otherworldly.
Yeah.
It's you can physically see something take over. There's something, he's out of the way. He has left the building, man. And there is something in there that's taken over almost. It's
and I think, isn't he 80 years old?
Yeah, and he looks like he's like 35.
I saw Bela Fleck open for Shakti a few months ago. And it was just incredible.
And Bela Fleck is the same thing. Like you see somebody that like has mastered the thing.
Well, and he had so many different instruments too that he was like, it was just another level.
What are you guys going to find inspiration like that?
Well, I still listen to a lot of different world music. I listen to a lot of African music.
Can you give me 1 or 2 for people that are listening so they can go listen to it and see what you're talking about?
Yeah, sure. Well, the one that kind of changed my life was hearing Salif Keita, a record called Sorrow. He's from Mali. And there's another great singer from Mali named Oumou Sangaré.
Okay.
And, that's been a big influence on me. And a good friend of ours just passed away this week, a South African musician named Tony Cedrus. He was a great musician. He came here with Paul Simon's band from the the Graceland days.
Okay.
With Paquito Kumalo and those guys. And he unfortunately just passed away this week, but he was a big influence on me.
What about you, Adam?
Oh yeah, so many different things. I mean, if we're into West Africa, I would echo some of what Leo said. And going back earlier, King Sunny Ade and Fela, but especially King Sunny Ade, which is a little lighter, and I just listen to that a lot because it lifts me up. It's just and Youssou N'Dour, pretty household name in terms of the West. But
yeah,
I love his music, and also I mean so many places to go. Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan is a very special Pakistani musician.
See, that's a whole world that we haven't even touched on. Is the world?
We'll send you some. We'll send you.
I would love that. Yeah,
David, what are you going to for inspiration?
Oh, that's geez. Well, it varies, and I kind of go through phases with pretty much like everything I do. Like I'll just get into a thing. Like my brother, I have a twin brother that plays bass. He lives in Texas, and he'd gone to see Bela Fleck, so I was listening to that record.
Oh yeah,
so good. He told me, and I was was checking out. But then like I've also been, this Hindustani slide guitar. There's a guy named Vishwan Mohan Bhatt. And then this guy Debashish Bhattacharya is another guy that's like they play really like they play lap steel style slide.
Oh wow!
But they have like this. They build these instruments that have drone strings underneath it, like this like a sitar.
Right.
So they kind of that's the thing that I listen to, and I listen to I don't know because I'm like also I listen to a lot of different stuff, bebop. I went to school at North Texas State University, which was a real bebop-oriented, jazz-oriented school. And it was like, if you don't play bebop, then you are nothing. Like that was the attitude there. And so, it's like check out like, Clifford Brown and I don't know. And also, jazz guys, like a friend of mine that I work with the other day was like, oh, you got to check out this tune. He sent it to me. So Keith Jarrett doing Love is a Mini Splendor thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Love is a mini splendor thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's with the trio with DeJeanette and Gary Peacock. And it's like burning, it's just like the most like, wow. And I think maybe Keith like made some different changes a little bit to it, the chord changes. But then when I tell my brother about it, my brother's like, oh, you got to hear the Clifford Brown version with Max Roach. It's in 5. Like, and it's that like, early, like, I don't know, it must have been what it was in the 50s, right? Or something? Because Clifford, when did he die?
He died. It was in the 50s. It was in the 50s.
So they're doing like, they're playing odd times. And at that time, I mean, like, when I just studied with Dave Holland, he said, those guys, like back in the day, when those guys, like playing in 3 was an odd time to them, and it's like, and you can tell by the way they play, it's not like real loose, like the way, DeJeanette or even like, I mean, these days, like who all, like Dan Weiss plays or, Rudy Mahanta plays odd times.
Yeah, just to add, maybe to put a close on what we listen to from other cultures.
Yeah,
there's a guy, a very special Indian bansuri flute player named Hari Prasad Chaurasia, and it's some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard. His sound.
I don't know if it was him or not, but
I think that
wasn't that guy with Bela, right?
Okay,
we saw him.
Yes,
it was the most insane thing. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, I didn't know he was with them.
Yeah,
it was like an all-star. Yeah, yes, on that record, you're right.
And Edgar Meyer plays bass, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Freak. I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
about Edgar Meyer. I met a cello player that had gone to this like summer camp when he was a kid, and he said Edgar Meyer was there. They were kids. They were like college students, and they would go down. It was in Aspen, and they would go down to this boardwalk, and people would go with their little quartet and play and busk and collect money, but work on the music they were working. And people would always be like, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" And he was like, and somebody said this to Edgar Meyer. He goes, "I'm playing the Brandenburg Concerto." And they're like, he's an upright bass player. They're like, what?
Yeah, that guy.
And then he's down there and he's playing it, and everybody's like, holy fuck.
Wow.
He's like from another planet.
Like a kid.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Freak.
It was so wild to see, like I said, people that have like transcended anything human with an instrument. I think for me, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a musician, and I would see stuff like that. Like I would see Hendrix play, and it would discourage me and not inspire me. I would be like, well, I'm never, ever going to be that good. So why even bother trying? You know what I mean? But now that I'm older, and I realize that playing is for me, and it doesn't matter what it sounds like.
I think we've all, if I can say this, I think we've all felt that way.
Oh, really?
I think so. I mean, for me, like I could mention Keith Jarrett. I mean, it's a long list of people that, you can, I don't think I've ever wanted to hang it up, but I definitely, and to this day, feel like up towards other people, that's the real deal. They're on another planet. But like you said, as you get older, it's like, but I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
And that's all that I can do and what I should be doing.
Absolutely.
And you just kind of like, and if I really go out on a limb, and this is like a really high level of spirituality that I can't say that I lived, I've even touched, but it's like ultimately we're not disconnected from each other, so it's like you hear somebody else doing something amazing, and it's not, they're doing it and I'm not. I mean, that is how it feels, but it's not. But I really think on some high level, it's not that.
No, I 1,000% agree on we're all broken pieces of the same mirror, all staring at itself. And I totally understand what you're saying. Well, gentlemen, thank you for doing this with us again.
Yeah,
good to see you guys.
Super fun every time.
I know. We love what you're doing so much. Thank you for putting out some more music and just keeping at it, because you guys really are doing your own thing, and it's dope.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
And if there's anything that we can do to help, as always, all you got to do is say the word, man. We're here for it.
We'll take you up on it.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Hey, that's why we're here, man. That's what
we're part of the same family,
Thanks for having us.
Right on, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Good seeing you.
Take care.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks,
guys. Later.
Aww.
That is one cool group of cats.
Yeah.
Heavy cats too, man.
The experience and the stories, like David said, like he's like, I could I could do 1 hour just on talking about.
I feel
that
like it would be cool to have them on individually.
Well, yeah, because they have so much rich careers, and they're learning how to play music, like their upbringing. It's like especially with Todd too. Like
Todd could probably tell many stories about like being in Mike's band, and I mean they all I couldn't
Leo
even
and
imagine
his it's amazing.
The history together, all of that combined with those.
I know,
four.
like throwing around Paul Simon and
yeah, and those are like their friends, their homies.
That's they're of the age where there wasn't a zillion musicians when they were coming up. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I mean, okay, possibly, but they weren't all publicized.
No,
and it
wasn't like social media
it wasn't. So even if there was
playing.
like a lot of people, it wasn't as widespread.
Yeah. Like the world's always been playing music, but you didn't have access to it.
Exactly.
You had to go search it. These guys went and searched it out. Traveled to India. Traveled the globe.
Traveled to Brazil.
Going to get I mean, you couldn't go on the internet and get lessons from somebody in Brazil. You got to go there.
Yeah.
Show up and seek it out. That, man.
So
those tunes.
What all you are going to do is go seek out International Orange.
That's right.
Yeah. And if you want to hear where the name came from, go listen to our interview with them in 2020.
Yeah, and if you're a festival promoter or a venue owner, get them out here. Come on.
We would love to see IO on
anywhere.
Some festival lineups out west, man.
Absolutely.
That would be so dope.
Yeah, these guys would be like I was saying. Any jazz festival would be such a.
They could see them at Cascade Equinox.
You know how dope it would be, either opening or ending the night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like kicking it off or like getting the fire started. You know,
or bookend them.
Yeah,
have
that's what
them start
I mean.
it and end it. Like that would be a great funky
Thanks
end
again,
of the evening.
everybody.
Thanks again, gentlemen.
Yeah.
And like I said, I meant what I said. That's not just hot air. If you need anything, let us know. And all of you out there, support them. If you see them playing, go to the show. And that's how you do the thing. So
all right.
We are going to be back next week with another episode of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind. Apple won't be doing that, I promise. But until then, take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate.
Take care of your head.
And go get it. Go get some music lessons this week. You pick up an instrument. Maybe you could start playing the oboe or the clarinet. You know? Love y'all. Peace.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Ready for a head-bangingly good time? Dive into the world of heavy metal with the Brutally Delicious podcast. Here, we don't just talk music. We welcome you into our heavy metal family. Join us for candid chats with legends and rising stars. We go beyond the typical interviews, exploring raw emotions and the life-altering impact of heavy metal. So whether you're a diehard metalhead or just curious, join our family and let the headbanging begin with the Brutally Delicious podcast.